Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Satakashi Show. I'm your host, Wally, and today we're going to be talking about the NFL Week 14 predictions. But before we do, let's talk about the Week 13's ups and downs of the NFL. And let me start it up on the down, which is the Bears. So, come to find out, as we all know, there was a tough call that had to be made on this game between the Lions and the Bears. Uh, Towards the end of the play, like towards the end of the fourth quarter, there was a lot of seconds left on that board, and you would think there will be a timeout that will be called by the Bears to savor those times to make crucial plays. And some people believe that all blame belonged to the coach. Others say the blame belongs to Caleb Williams. Others say it's a mixture of both. Ultimately, all in all, this blame is on the coach. He thought that they thought that the play was worthy of just going out there and play and not savor the use of the timeout and then trying to make more effectable plays down the line. And he pretty much gambled possibly overturning this game with the Lions. So, I mean, granted, close game, but with games like this, you would want to have made a very crucial, smart play. And his response seems that there was no urgency. There was nothing. He just thought it was just a smart play to just keep going forward, which is just downright asinine. If I'm not mistaken, words out there is he's already fired or he's going to be fired. So I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, that's one of the big downs of this week. Looking at some of the ups. One of the big ups, the Steelers. Boy, the Steelers had a tough battle with the Bengals. The Steelers had a tough battle with the Bengals last week. It was a good battle. It really pushed them because with a team like the Bengals, you had to ask yourself, could the Steelers handle a team like this? And not only could they handle them, but could they handle it and make sure they kept them at bay? And this is a good test for the Steelers if they're trying to be in the playoffs, let alone make it long enough to even make it to the finals. So this is a very big question mark, and the Steelers answered the question, and they handled this with some dignity. There's some plays you can question if they could have called it for the Bengals, which could have maybe changed the atmosphere of the game, but it was a pick and chooses. So nonetheless, that was a good game right there. So that's the up for the Steelers. Looking on the next one. The next down, Jets. Yep, the New York Jets. Boy, the New York Jets, y'all had a lead. Y'all had the lead at a certain time, I think in the second half. And then you slowly but surely gave it away back to the Seahawks. And they took that game away from you guys. Look, let's just be real. It's one thing you had your young little quarterback and he wasn't working. Great. But to sit here go for someone that's veteran and seasoned as Aaron Rodgers and think he was going to do something? Yeah, no. Let's be real, Jets. Just call it for what it is. You drafted someone you thought was going to be good and it wasn't. Even though you didn't give him enough time to even adjust to the major leagues to even see if he was going to be good at all. Anyways, 2, you go get Aaron Rodgers. We all see how that looks. 3, you fire your head coach. 4, you go get Devontae Adams, like that was going to change anything. And 5, you are still not progressing forward. Honestly, Jets, y'all have a whole lot to think about. And personally, you definitely on my down list for this week. Coming up next, who deserves an up? Who deserves an up? if I'm not mistaken. Also, yes, the Rams. I'll give the Rams an up on this one because as much as there was a close game between the Rams and the Saints by only a mere touchdown, this does keeps the Ram alive to try to contest to see if they can make it to the playoffs, let alone well, I should say make it to the wild cards. If they can make it to the wild cards and get a spot and at least fight for the chance to make it to the finals. So, well, make it to the Super Bowls, but yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, they get one small up for that one. All right, so I'm gonna have to speak on it. It is what it is. Ravens and Eagles. So I know most people would think this, but I'm gonna say this right now. I don't really look at this as an up or a down. I look at this as a middle in the road. Look, I know a lot of people say that the Ravens are down. The Ravens are they need to find themselves in where they are in this year. However, but let's get one thing clear. Let's not act like the Eagles something major and they beat them to a pulp and they left them deep in the yard hanging themselves. Like this was a close game. They only missed like 5 points behind. That's a kick and a field goal. I mean, that's a field goal and a safety. So, this was not that severe, quote unquote. I mean, you want to talk about certain plays, I'm gonna give that to you. If you want to talk about certain plays, certain crucial plays that could have changed the landscape of the game, but other than that, there really wasn't that much heavy. It was just a close game of two offense, two defenses, trying to job for position in this, in my honest opinion. But other than that, like I said, I don't really see this as an up and down. I see this as a middle in the road. I mean, granted, if I had to give it to somebody, it's a down for the Ravens for the simple fact of their positioning in the AFC North. And at the same time, it's an up for the Eagles because the Eagles are trying to place in position ahead of the Lions if the Lions ever were to lose these next games. So, nonetheless, next on up, I think the next up would be the Broncos. Broncos had a tough game with the Browns. They did not went in there going easy. To be honest, it was also the surprise game of the week because I think the best two games of the week was going to be like Steelers Bengals because that was a rivalry game, and then Ravens Eagles. Those were really two of the big games that week overall. I mean, granted, you could say Bears and Lions was another one because of rivalry and plus the jock in the position. The Bears could have helped another team, aka the Eagles. If they would have won, then the Eagles would have looked a little bit more better in placing first and getting that bye week. So, a lot of things you can consider in that. But the Bengals, for sure, I'll give them an up on this one because, one, I mean, they thought if they thought they was going to walk in and just face a beaten down, wear down, no hope left Browns, that wasn't the case. And two, I mean, even faced with a whole bunch of challenges. Oh, sorry guys, hold on. Sorry about that. That was my alarm. But but even faced with a whole bunch of challenges, you would think that they get through them. But it was a tough back and forth between the two teams. Definitely, defense was the story of this one. Especially shout out to the big defense over on the Broncos. Sean Payne, he still got it. He still got it at his old age because the defense really much saved the Broncos. I mean, once again, Jameis Winston, he constantly slings that ball. Next thing you know, 2 extra picks to that one. You thought he was going to be 4-1. No. He became 4-3 all over again. And, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Telling story for Jameis Winston, like always. But nonetheless, good game between the two. heavy overall, but this is definitely good for them because, again, in the AFC West right now, it's literally Chiefs. I think it's Chargers, then Broncos, or is it Broncos, then Chargers? It's like three teams in the AFC West right now that's fighting to get into the playoffs. So, right now, this is a big ups. Keep themselves going forward, make sure they get past all the teams as much as possible to make a definitive push to get inside. So, nonetheless, with that said, guys, so let's talk about who won between me, Marcus, and Jay this week. Well, first things first, let me just say this. Marcus was last with 11 wins, 5 losses. I was second with 13-3. And Jay's number 1. But this number 1 is special. Truly. No, this is special. This number 1 is truly special. Because this one is, well, this is the first one on the show. Jay is the first one to ever get 16-0. Yep, you heard me. He's the first one to get 16-0 on the show. You gotta give it to him. Yep, you gotta give it to him. The first 16-0, he called every game down the line. He called every single game. Every single game. Like, I ain't gonna lie. My one mess up was choosing the Dolphins over the Packers, not remembering that, wait, they're going to go play with the Packers. They're in Wisconsin, aka the North. Yeah, they're going to be frozen. Yeah, Tua, you ain't playing in the cold, bro. You lose. So, dummy me, but even then, 14-2, and then the other 2 games that I lost was the Saints and the Ravens. So, and those were 2 toss-ups. Those games were really close. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But for Marcus, he made some mistakes. He made some few matchup mistakes. But even then, the same thing for him. Those games that he chooses were also close games themselves. So it's like, hey, we gambled, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. But that's what it was. Congrats to Jay. Make sure y'all shot Jay out in the comments for his 16-0, cleaning the whole week 13. But with that said, just let you guys know, because I don't have it all set up yet. As far as the standing goes, I'm still in first place overall. I'm still in first place. Marcus is in second. He's behind me by 4 wins. He's behind me by 4. I got 4 wins more than him. And what Jay has done with the 16-0, this did drastically help him because the simple fact of he's been catching a lot of L's through the earlier season. So the 16-0 definitely saved him without putting any L's in the L column. So he's catching up. He's pretty much 6 games behind Marcus. And he's 10 games behind me. So if he can make a very substantial climb without too much losses and keep the production, he might just catch up on one of us, maybe both of us. So, hey. But let's get into week 14, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into week 14. Let me bring up the images. All right, so let me get this going. So, first game of the Thursday night football, we got the Green Bay Packers going against the Detroit Lions in a rivalry game for the North. Can the Green Bay Packers upset the Lions and strip them down a peg and slow them down, which also helps the Eagles try to get a lead? Can this happen? As of right now, me and Jay are still sticking with the Lions. Marcus is taking the ladder, and I meant the ladder, and he's going with the Packers on this one. All right. Hey man, this is gonna definitely be a good game. I can see this go either way, but hey, let's see what goes. Next on up, we got another rivalry game for the first Sunday game, and this is literally the first Sunday game of garbage. But we got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Tennessee Titans. And in this game, me and Marcus agree on the Titans. Jay is going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Honestly, this game, it can go either which way. No one cares. No one cares. But I will let you guys know, Trevor Lawrence is on the injury reserve. So more likely so, this may be a clean walk for the Titans. But we'll see what Matt Jones can do, or whoever else is standing up and making the quarterback scenes. So let's keep going. Next on up, we got another rivalry game. We got the New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. And let me tell you right now, after this year, Jets, just push that reset button and tell everyone to get out. Well, not everybody, just Aaron Rodgers. Tell them to get out. Get the out of there. Me, Marcus, and Jay all agree on the Dolphins winning this game. Let's move on. Next on up, we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. And in this game, me, Marcus, and Jay all agree on the Vikings in this game. But this actually is one of my very most games to watch, because this could be the upset game. And don't forget, Vikings are also in the NFC North. This can help Packers up forward if they were to win, but at the same time, this can you somewhat say help the Lions as well, depending on placements within the division. So the Vikings need this victory. The Vikings need this victory. One, to stay ahead of the Packers. Two, just in case if the Lions were to fall backwards. So Vikings definitely need this victory. But let's keep on going. Next on up, we got the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants. And in this game, me, Marcus, and Jay all agree on the Saints are winning this game for sure. Next on up, we got Carolina Panthers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And in this game, me, Marcus, and Jay all are going for the Eagles. Next on up, we got another rivalry game in the AFC North. We got the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in this game, we all agree on the Steelers. And this will be one game to watch because Cleveland can play hate maker, and they can literally slow down the Steelers just a tad bit to give a Ravens a chance. So this is a game to watch. Next on up, we got Las Vegas Raiders going against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and me, Mark, and Jay all agree on the Bucs winning this game. Next on up, the Battle of the Birds. We got Seattle Seahawks going against Arizona Cardinals in a rivalry game of the NFC West. And actually, this is also another important game because, again, this is fighting for who can get into the playoffs. The AFC West is very tight-knit and close because they're really close in their records. So, me, Marcus, and Jay all agree that the Seahawks will take the advancement and move forward. Next on up, we got the Buffalo Bills going against the Los Angeles Rams. And in this game, we all agree on the Bills winning this game. Now, funny enough, I will also say this is also another important game. The Rams can play, they can play keep away with the Bills as well, which means this gives the Chiefs the opportunity to maintain first and get that bye. But at the same time, this also helps the Rams because the Rams are also in the NFC West, which can help them pivot forward in the division as well, which get them the chance to try to fight for a chance to creep into the playoffs. So, got to give that up. Next on up, we got the Chicago Bears versus the 49ers. I haven't heard nothing about Brock Purdy. So, and in this game, me and Marcus are going with the Bears. Jay is choosing the 49ers. We'll see what happens. Let's get it going. And on the Sunday nights football game, we got a rivalry game, baby. We got the most important rivalry game of the week, because this is also the important division game. Because all you Buffalo Bill fans, you need to cheer for the Chargers, because if the Chargers win this game, this helps you guys fight for that bye week. But in this game, we got the Los Angeles Chargers going against the Kansas City Chiefs. And in this game, me and Jay both picked the Chiefs. Marcus is choosing the lather and going with the Chargers. This one is going to be good, because not only is this just any rivalry game. Oh, no. This is fighting for position. This is fighting for position. And next on up, we have the Monday Night Football game, where we got the Cincinnati Bengals going against the Dallas Cowboys. And in this game, all three of us agreed that the Bengals are winning this game. Now I forgot one key factor. I did not put the bye week, but I think this is bye week number 8 or so, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, bye week number 8. I was correct. So on the bye week, we have the Denver Broncos, New England Patriots, Washington Commanders, Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans, and Indianapolis Colts. As of right now, Denver needs this break. Commanders needs this break. Ravens, Texans, Colts, if they can probably manage to squeak in to do something or overtake the AFC South from the Texans, which I doubt, but hey, things can happen. But all those teams definitely need that break right there to reposition, figure out some things, and get back into the saddle of things to finish the year out. Patriots, hey, y'all just playing to see what works at this point. But that is pretty much all in all. That is the ups and downs of week 13. This is our week 14's predictions. So you guys, let us know who you guys got this week. And let's throw in a little sun. Who do you guys got for the Super Bowl? Who do you got coming out of the NFC? Who do you got coming out of the AFC? Who will play in the Super Bowl this year? Let us know in the comment section. Much love to everybody. Peace out.